Hello, hello, hello. I'm back. 10 Sydnor-Campbell here, author of It's Healing Time for the Body Mind of Black Women, How to Live a Life You Love and Love the Life You Live. For today's topic, I thought I would do something a little bit different. Instead of starting with a meditation, I was going to read a little snippet from the Pocket Pema Chondron, who is the Buddhist nun that some of you might know. There's the cover of her book. I use this book sometimes to just give me inspiration for my meditations, and I thought I might share what I opened up today. A more adventurous way to live. There's a common misunderstanding among all human beings who have ever been born on earth that the best way to try to live is to avoid pain and just try to get comfortable. You can see this even in insects and animals and birds. All of us are the same. A much more interesting, kind, adventurous, and joyful approach to life is to begin to develop our curiosity, not caring whether the object of our inquisitiveness is bitter or sweet. To lead a life that goes beyond pettiness and prejudice and always wanting to make sure that everything turns out on our own terms. To lead a more passionate, full, and delightful life than that, we must realize that we can endure a lot of pain and pleasure for the sake of finding out who we are and what the world is, how we tick, and how our world ticks, how the whole thing just is. Okay, so with that being said, we will dive into today's topic. I was feeling mighty purple, but I don't know if your camera can see the purpleness that is my dress. Maybe you can tell my purple lips, they're dark purple. Anyway, purple was on my mind, and that is the color associated with the seventh chakra. It's all up in here. Starts at the top of the head and, kind of goes upward and outward, right? It's our chakra of higher consciousness. It is our collective consciousness. It is our connection to our supreme power or God, Buddha, whoever you may pray to in times of stress and worry, or give thanks to in times where things are good. Just thinking about what I just read and what that might have to do with our crown chakra, I'm thinking that developing that curiosity and to look at the world with an inquisitiveness that does not judge, and thinking of all of the ways that we go through our day-to-day life, the area where we would find most of our body-mind connections to the chakras, specifically to the seventh or crown chakra. For me, it is the shine of my aura. That's the word I want to use. If I open up my book, let's see. If we start off with the connection to the universe, Allah, ancestors, universe, supreme being, goddess, creator, God. This is our pure consciousness. And as I quickly go over what is impacted by what is connected to our seventh or crown chakra physically, is that the endocrine glands that control our sleep and wake cycles, fatigue, body temperature, thirst, hunger, and some acts of parenting or bonding and attachment behaviors. That comes from the hypothalamus and the pineal gland. So it's the hypothalamus, pineal gland, and the pituitary gland. And the pineal, sometimes you'll see it pronounced or hear it pronounced pineal. This is the one that produces melatonin, and that is the one that allows you to manage your sleep and wake cycles. Um, it also influences the release of sex hormones. So if there's some dysfunction, it may show up in the form of hypo or hypersexual development. And then the pituitary is also another endocrine gland that is associated with the seventh chakra, and it secretes hormones controlling our energy levels, blood pressure, growth, metabolism, temperature, pain relief, and then, of course, all of the sex organs related to pregnancy, childbirth, breastfeeding, things like that. If you have issues in your life that are negatively impacting you, something like something like where your curiosity has led to something that was unpleasant. And then compare that to a time when your curiosity led you to something pleasant. And I want you to think about how those incidents impact who you are today. Those curiosities, that inquisitiveness, did they turn you into someone who refuses to look for things that are beyond what the eye can see or the mind can think? Do you avoid that kind of thinking, or do you embrace it? And I think what the Buddhist nun Pema Chodron was talking about is using that to move through life in a more curious fashion without a judgment about what it may mean, positive or negative to your life, but to just look at things just as they are. And I'm actually reminded as I say that about a conversation I had with someone just recently, and we were talking about how their memories of everything bad happening in their life have prevented them from making good decisions. They see it as, the reason that they can't make any good decisions because so many bad things happen in their life. And I know that there are plenty of you out there who have experienced lots of negative things, and some of you have used those negative things and turned them into positives, and some of those have used those negative things and continued with the negativity and kind of embrace that as the way to exist. And some people have taken that negativity and they just explore it for what it is. It was an experience. You had it. Does it make you who you are today? It may contribute, but there are lots of things that contribute to who you are today. So I want to encourage you to think about just looking at the things in your life, for the next couple days, and just looking at it with a curiosity of what it is, what it could mean, what it might not mean. Like, think of 3 possibilities that come from the things that you have decided to observe. And in those thoughts, consider the times that you have placed a judgment on what you've seen. and decided that that is a negative experience, or decided that was a positive experience rather than just an experience itself. I want to thank you for joining me today on our second session of the year. I hope that some part of this has touched you in some way, and you are able to leave a comment or ask a question below. I look forward to your responses. I want you all to have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.